They've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-. Anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come in after a win last week, and it had been some time since we said that. That broke a 9-game skid.
So I'm not sure if that was happiness or relief in their locker room after the last game. Let's see if they can put a second win together.
And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're a backup to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
Caught left side, Garcon. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Pierre Garcon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the sean. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 14 carries, 62 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
A give to the fullback on the dive. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, not a lot of flash and dash on that play. 2nd and 2, and they hand it to the big man, and he ends up picking up a first down. A little bit of gray area there, though, but I think what they thought, hey, we hand it to him here. If we come back and don't get it, we still got another down to try and pick it up.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Kevin Dodd in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. And now a first down following that long gain. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he finds a man on a crossing route. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. This will be caught just inside the 10. And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. There's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put in.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. The Jets out to the early lead. Marlon Mack, a first-quarter touchdown there. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball. And
this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because, as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
First carry for Carlos Hyde. The numbers on the ground for Hyde last week. He was, without a doubt, one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he can really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities in the passing game.
They go play action here on first down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. On second down, here's Garoppolo. He dumps it to Hyde. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. It's the 49ers with the early lead. More from the Steel City coming up after this. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for the Niners. 42 yards.
Not the tallest receiver on the field, but he just shouted to admit that the little guy can't go downfield and make a big-time catch on a deep pass because sometimes they'll just out-scrap you for the football.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now Garoppolo. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end. But running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw here's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. 2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Gave a glimpse of his power that time. And then brought down at the 30. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, Parker. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. So they're operating in the red zone. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. His pass caught with the 4. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic. And Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jimmy Garoppolo and his offense heading back on the field. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 39. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part catching the football, right? Whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. Looking middle, and that's complete. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there. It'll lead to a new set of downs. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
To throw is Garoppolo. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Niners on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Garoppolo again. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17, as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Steelers are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The 49ers won't panic either. They know they just need to take it one play at a time. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. 1st and 10, Garçon's by himself here, and this long run goes for a touchdown as they take a 7-0 lead. Now following the interception, defense will get to the quarterback here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Offense on the field now after the fumble. Ben Roethlisberger would find his mark in coverage. He caps off the 7-play drive with a score, which takes the lead to 3.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Second down following the run. They'll go again with Bell. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And the Steelers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Roethlisberger will throw. He gets it to Brown. Complete. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first. Charles, you think Big Ben is happy to have Antonio Brown on the other side of his passes?
You know he is, but he also expects it. This is how their offense runs best. When those two get together, especially early, and continue to do it throughout the game, the end result is the one that we're seeing right now. They're ahead on the board.
It has been early and often. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 more there and another first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Possession in the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On 2nd down, Hyde. And an alley to run. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Pressure comes and down he goes. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. With it is Brown. And they're running right through it. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, they had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Again, it's Bell. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The Steelers on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. On the counter, here's Bell. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And a nice gain at 21 yards. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And Green with a catch left side. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Garoppolo now. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he's got it. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. George Kittle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Play action, it's Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action with Roethlisberger. And his throw is incomplete.
For plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
And was this game announced as a night game prior to it? Maybe his rhythm is just off. He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. First carry for James Conner. A pickup of 5 that time and a 1st down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Martavis Bryant is a here, and the Steelers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, It's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it. Here's Hyde. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Now Garoppolo, got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
And they'll try to close it out now. 6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. A give to Bell. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The give is to Bell. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. See if they stay on the ground for second down. On the give, this is their fullback. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there. A good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
To throw is Garoppolo. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The Niners on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is third down and 12. Back to throw, Garoppolo. Open man is Taylor, he's got it. A big gain of 31 on third down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here we go. 3-19.
Garoppolo to throw. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 6 there on first. Garoppolo hustling him back to the line now. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. The Niners on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go.
Now Garoppolo. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Here we go now.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers are close to finishing off this football game. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. It happened in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Steelers, a final win here means they'll finish off the regular season at a solid 13-3. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they go out with a bit of a whimper as they wrap up a very trying 3-13 season. And this front office will have plenty of work to do in the draft and through free agency to turn this ship around. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.